So the first question I have is regarding the decision you have taken to put stays and experiences on tabs. Okay. And why is it that you have, yeah, yeah. Can you go scroll down? Yeah. Can you click on some apartment in Kulu Manali? Or probably you might not connect it. But if I click on that, will it go to that apartment? It
No.
doesn't. Okay. Why? Why this decision? Why is it that my itinerary is not telling me about what is a stay? And why should I have to go to a different tab to look at all the stays?
So like the initial idea was, as stays and experiences are two different stuff,
Uh-huh.
so to keep things pretty clear, we separated it in different tabs.
Okay.
That, like, how the initial screen is also like stays is in one section and experiences in one section. And because we were combining both of them, we thought a user might want to know what is the combination of both. So we
Mm-hmm.
added the overview page where all things would be listed, like start from the stay, watch different experiences for that day, and go ahead.
Okay.
Like that it was planned.
A little bit. One more reason. Anyone wants to think and tell me? You don't have to assume that I'm necessarily finding a problem with this.
Another reason that we thought that we haven't kept this overview page interactive. If you see, we tried to imitate Google Maps, that thing, but
Uh-huh.
it is not exactly like that. It is not measuring the time and distance. So it is just giving like what all things the user has to do in that particular day or that entire trip. We thought if we are not changing anything on the screen, like where the user is right now, things like that. So that is why we didn't give any other sort of interaction, because we couldn't think of any signifier that how will the user get to know that this thing is clickable or not.
Interesting. Okay. So you have taken a very important architectural decision, which I don't want to tell you right now and bias you if you have not thought about it. But I'll get back to that. Okay. There is something which is happening here, very interesting, but no worries. You yourself have not thought about it, so I don't
Mhm.
credit you for that.
Sorry to
Uh,
cut you. Even wanted to add one more thing. When you mentioned architecture, remember when we were discussing, we thought currently Airbnb does not have flights and rentals. So
uh-huh.
we thought if these things come up, those tabs can be just added directly and we don't have to touch the existing pages.
That is an interesting insight. Okay. Okay, fine. Next, go to your stays. Yeah. So you have mentioned it in your critical decisions also, right? You have decided to put these switches for stays, which is fine. What's the logic here? Like, why one stay, first of all? Why is it a single select? Why did you use switch for a single select first? And why should it be a single select? Second question. Both I'm asking you. Because that's what you mentioned in the video. That if I select a stay, other stay will like kind of. So what's happening here?
So first, due to time constraint, we decided we'll only do single city itineraries,
Okay.
intercity, and like users will probably only stay at one place if they are in single cities. And adding two stays in just one city would make the entire itinerary thing complicated. And if it's a itinerary built from scratch, it might not be very practical in real life, but the
Uh-huh.
user not understand it while creating the itinerary. He eventually will have a bad experience and will not maybe use Airbnb again for creating itineraries. So we made it very simple. We gave only one stay for one itinerary. He can add multiple experiences, but stay, it would get a little complicated, is what we felt.
By the way, you shouldn't say things like users will never use the product and all. Users are not like that. They wouldn't be like, oh, one feature is wrong. I didn't understand. Let me stop using this product. That's not how users behave. Don't quote it unless really very sure about that. Never
Hmm.
say user might ever come back to this product. You don't know that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, using the switch. Okay, fine. I'll tell you that. You shouldn't use switch here. Switch is something which you'll be using for selecting multiple things. Okay, because the moment you click on this switch, its feedback is only limited to the state of the current element which you are in. That's what a switch does. It doesn't switch off the other switches out there. That's not how it works. Compared to something like a radio or other patterns which you can use, drop downs and radios, which are used for single select, switches don't do that. Okay. That's a small part of the feedback, but that's fine. You'll get it with experience. But I have a larger architectural feedback over here. That is, I have one stay. Okay. which probably you will just lock in. You're asking me to give me options to select that one particular stay, which is not very clear that if it is one stay or not. But what is this design is not scalable if I want multiple stays. If I want to go to multiple cities, multiple itineraries, and multiple stays, and I want to select these multiple stays at different dates, what will you do? How will you scale up this design?
Like initially we were thinking to put date chips and stays as well, but the problem which we faced there was experience could be for a single day, but
Uh-huh.
stays would have been like for a range of dates, like for example 9th Feb to 13th Feb. So those chips were getting a bit complicated, and the reason we also skipped for multi-city was if there are two sections of dates like 9 to 13th Feb and 15th to 17th Feb, and user want to edit stay in one of the section of the dates, how to enable user key you're changing for that section and you're not editing that other section, or one city is for one section and of dates and other is for another section of dates. That was where we were getting stuck. So we thought keeping it simple and not giving, like for example if he has entered 5 days starting, so the whole 5 days would be single stay. That was our approach.
It is good that you have cut down the scope to one stay, one place. That is not wrong. What is wrong is not making it non-scalable. I'll tell you what is the architectural flaw and what is a good thing about the architecture which you have done. So the flaw is it's not scalable. Okay. Now, if I have to select a stay, I don't know within what context am I selecting the stay. It is only applicable if you're absolutely locked one particular location and you know that it is going to be, if I select a stay over here, it has to be for all the nights which I've selected for the trip. Only then this works, or else it doesn't work, right? The same thing with experiences as well. Can you go to the experiences? Huh. When will I do these experiences? How many can I do? How do you restrict that? You're also giving multi-select here, right? How many will I do? If I select all, will you put all of them on in that day?
We thought of this use case. What if the user is staying for like 2 days, for example?
Uh-huh.
He selects like 10 experiences. So how are we limiting that? How are we adding the constraint? So we wanted some AI thing to help us with building this. If he adds more than two or three, then for the fourth one that he selects, it will give a pop-up that you need to.
Does it give the pop-up right now?
It doesn't. We had considered this, but it's
Okay.
not there in the current scope.
No worries. But that's fine. Yeah, that's where the problem is, right? It's not clear in terms of how many can I select. There is no restriction, like fundamental design principles wise, there is no constraint here, right? You're not constrained to take a decision within how the system is working. You can practically select as many as possible. And more than that, you can probably have some AI or something tell that, oh, you're selecting more than 4 experiences, it won't work. But that is prevent error. That is diagnose and recognize error. You're not preventing error in the first place. You're not even giving me the idea that I should be selecting one or two or whatever within the dates I have, right? And moreover, what happens is from
Anudeep,
overview, I can't go to stays and experiences. So where the architecture fails is the fundamental mental model a person has when they plan or want to understand itinerary is date, time, where am I, what am I doing? That's the most fundamental thought process a person has, right? I'll tell you what's the good part, okay? And you will understand it only if you understand one more small concept. When you build architectures, you need to always make sure that what is the parent, what is the child. You need to always have this in your mind. Now, if I want to change the states, it is a child of what? If I want to change the experience, if I want to edit experiences, it is a child of what? Can you think and tell me?
Manali trip.
No, it is not. That's where you're going wrong.
Overview page.
The overview page.
In the overview page, a particular experience or a particular set of experiences is what can be changed. Go to the overview page. Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say? You have a set of experiences or an experience, which is where you can change, which is where you can add. Can you go to the overview page? No, not this one. Like you probably add something and then come. Yeah. Yeah. you have this overview page, right? Now, change of something comes from the ingress or whatever to, there should be an experience over there. There should be a set of experiences over there, or should be set of states over there. That should trigger change. Change doesn't come in a place where you are showcasing what to do. That's where you went wrong. We are showcasing all the states. Change cannot be inbuilt. Can you go to the states tab now? Yeah, it's okay, still. Yeah, all your states are here, correct? The change of states cannot be a part of this. Change of states has to be a child of this. Either you showcase states in the overview, upon clicking on change, give me option to change. Or if you're choosing to put all the states, the display of states itself here, then go and give the option to change here. Click on a particular state or whatever you want to change. Click on change and then give me a list of places where I can change.
But like we are giving edit button to edit the stage, list of states
I didn't see the edit button.
from which the user can
Can
remove
you
or
go back to
add.
the hackathon presentation? Where is the edit button? It wasn't there, no? It was there. It's not there.
This was directly that section. This was the section where we skipped in PPT. If you scroll up, others, in the solution section, top, there we have
Others,
given the flows, and there
yes,
these
yes.
things are mentioned.
Fine, then it's fine. Okay,
So
so
like,
then that means you have done it to them. Then it's the problem of the presentation, not the problem of the product. Yeah. So if you click on edit, that is when all those screens come.
Yes.
the toggles come after that.
Okay, fine, cool. But when I click on edit, why am I also seeing states and experiences to be edited?
No, when you are on stage, you click on edit. Stage ka page where you can edit.
No, I'm
stays.
also seeing experiences and overview also here. That's why I also got confused. Not confused. This is wrong, first of all.
Yeah, it's exactly same
It's
UI
a child
for the
of what? It's a child of what?
Yeah.
stage.
Of
We
editing
should
of
have
a
removed
particular
that
stay which
tab.
you are editing. Why am I going to an experience or an overview? It's not obvious, correct?
Yes.
Like that edit section should not have navigation between other pages. It should have been specifically for editing stays, come back and then go to experience.
Yeah, because what are you editing? If look at the mental model of a person, right? I'm editing something and then you are taking me to something else. I've not even decided to edit my experience. What experience? There are 10 experiences. Which one am I editing over there? First mistake. Second, what you should have done is go back. Let us say there is edit over here, right? The edit should not be a global one, right? If it has to be global, that is where you did the right part. I'll tell you the right part is your experience doesn't make people think a lot about where to keep a particular experience or a particular stay or an experience in the timeline. The product does it for you. Because when you click on save or something, you will actually see, yeah, can you show me that pop-up which comes? Yeah, save. Can you show it to me in your screens? Yeah. There's an animation which comes when you click on, yeah, this one, right? So when your itinerary is being revised, when this is coming, what is happening is your product is actually taking a decision on the user's behalf, saying that you don't have to worry about placing the stay or placing the experience in its right place. We will do it for you, which is one place where your architecture really works very well. It's really beautiful, right? But you guys have not taken the advantage of it and built backwards from it. And this answer was never coming out of your mouths, right? Because that's what I thought you built backwards from, but clearly it was not, right? This was probably an afterthought. What I'm trying to say is once I save my preferences, the app is communicating that I'm going to take care of everything for you. Putting the right states and experiences in the right time and time slots is what I will do for you, is what is getting communicated here, which is the good part, which you should do, which is which is solving a lot of problem for me as a user, because it's very difficult to understand what goes where, right? Or no,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to decide what goes where, which is what you have done, right? But where your architecture fails is I can't even understand where am I staying and what experience am I having at which particular slot, basis your result. And if I want to change something, I don't know how to I go and change it. That's where it fails. So I'll tell you how to club your good part and bad part. What you need to do is you have an experience within the itinerary. I should be able to understand which hotel I am in, which place, which experience at what time. That should be very clear. There's no doubt about it. And then you have a tab for stays and experiences in the primary navigation itself, which is fine, which is great, which is a great idea. It works because I can also look at all the stays and all the experiences in one particular go where I'm having. That is also great. You retain that. But when it is stays or whether it is experiences, you need to clearly state what are the dates, because this is the result. And if I want to change it, I should be able to change it individually. Or if I'm changing everything, then lock it. If this edit should not be for here on this particular pre-made experiences screen. Yeah, experiences screen. Edit should not be for all of them. The edit should be only for experiences within February 9th. Locally, I can edit what is happening on February 9th. You lock it, then open a bunch of experiences. Then your experience works well. You have selected 3 options. More than 3, you can't select. Less than 3, you can't put. Constrain me, saying that you must select 2 or 3. Show me what is possible only. Constrain me to select 3 or 4. Not more than that, not less than that. Right? If it is less than that, tell me that you will be free if you don't select enough. Are you okay with that? When I say okay, go back in my itinerary, show me where am I free, where have you put this particular experience. Retaining what is a good part, you are still not asking the user to put a particular experience in a particular time slot. You are doing it for them. You're only asking them to select 2 or 3 of them. We'll take care of the time slots. But in the end, I need to see it if I have to trust your product.
So, like you're saying, date changes should be given to user, time changes is what app would manage.
Whether it is date change, time change, you can all take care of it. My principle is show what is happening. I don't know where and when am I going, at what time, at what date, and where am I going is not clear. Show the result to me. Next.
Like
How you are
those
changing.
date tips in overview won't be signifying that. If in the overview page, user would have clicked on Feb 9, he would have seen the things which is specific to Feb 9. That is what our idea was.
It's not clear.
Maybe the
You're saying
prototype
apartment.
is not expressing
You're
it that.
not. Your result is not. It doesn't matter if you have thought about it. Your result is not showing it. You need to accept it. Simple. Right?
Like, how could have it been resolved? And if I click on Feb
Isn't
9,
clear,
wouldn't have been convenient for the user to know ki that section is for Feb 9 only?
no, that is fine, which is great. That's why I'm saying it is great. What you have done in experiences, let us say Feb 9, is
Hmm.
great. You're showing me all the experiences which I'm going on Feb 9, but I don't know when.
When, as in time.
Yeah, when am I going to these things? I'm not clear. See, overview is just showing some overview. Fine, I understand. I don't want to disturb that. But at least when I'm going to this experiences, wala, can you zoom experiences? I'm going to these experiences. When am I covering all this? You understood? That is not clear. Let us say you clarify that. You put the time slots, whatever, right? And show me the experiences very nicely, which you are doing. If I want to change it, 2 options for you. Either ask me to change an individual experience and swap it with something else, or you don't want the user to do that. It's fine. Give an edit button for February 9th or local to February 9th. This edit feels like edit for all experiences. Somehow it feels like that. Can you figure out a pattern where you can click edit for only February 9th and restrict me to select 3 or 4 or not less than 2? And then you do the AI, you do the math and put them in the right places. Again, show it to me which experience is going where, because I can't decide it. I don't know how much distance to travel from the Whitewater to Kallu Alpine Woods. I don't know how much to travel. You take the decision. That is one place where your architecture is working out. but remaining places, but that's what I'm saying. You have not thought backwards from this. It was an afterthought. You did this and then you said, oh, anyway, we landed here. Let's do one thing. Let us show that we'll take care of everything for you in the end state.
So more details should have been added in the respective pages as well, like, and
Regarding
then
time.
overview should have.
What the user is consuming in an itinerary should remain an itinerary. You can't challenge that model. That is something people have been doing from ages. That is not, you can't challenge that, right? The representation, however you want to do, has to be date and time. That can't be changed. What you can play with is how am I making changes or creating something or making changes is where you can play with, which your product does well. What you have done does well. You're not asking me to put all the mental effort to decide at this time slot what do you want to do. Select 4 experiences which are there. You don't want me to do that, which is fine. Right? For that, you can do all that. There are 4 experiences. Select, I will do the magic and put them in respective days and respective places. You can do that for me, which is great. But in the end, show me where am I going when. Don't change that. Okay, that's the product level feedback. Architectural level feedback, parent and child relationship is where it is going wrong. What is the parent to what is where it is going. Got it? This is the overall feedback. Okay. But compared to
Yes,
a fresher or a beginner, you have done an amazing job.